Fixed it. Thank you. Yeah, I can mute. Hang on.
Hi, guys. Nate Enan here with CornWarriorsTV.com and
Hey, Nate, I think we lost your audio, buddy. While we're figuring out Nate's audio, as y'all know, we've been doing these pre-shows before the premiere of the newest episode. While Nate fixes his audio, I'll just say I'm Alex Bond. I'm an associate producer on the Podfather. Nate is our sales lead and swagronomist. We've got, I think, all of the farmers from the Bean Show here. We got Matt Miles and his son Lane, Corey Atley and his son. We've also got Matt's agronomist, Rob Deadman, Temple Rhodes and his son, Alexander, and Perry Galloway, as well as a producer, Cahill Dote. How is everyone doing today?
Can you guys hear
Doing
me?
amazing.
Can you guys hear me now?
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's icy though.
Yeah, doing good,
Icy down in
guys.
Center Arkansas.
Of course, we've got the executive producer down there, also Seth Wood. Perry, you a little icy down there? Give us the scoop.
Well, we're better than we could have been. We were supposed to get an inch of freezing rain last night, which would have really caused problems in Central Arkansas. But we just got an inch and a half of sleet, so the roads are kind of slick. I'm out. I'm trying to find something to eat. Everything's closed. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. Glad to be here though.
Happy to have you, man. How's everybody else doing? Anyone else dealing with some weather issues? Temple, I know it's supposed to be raining like cats and dogs probably now until tomorrow morning.
It's not been terrible here today. I mean, it's just we had all that snow. It's been really cold here. Temperatures broke today, so everything's a freaking mess. We've been trying to load beans out, load corn out, but everything is, man, it's just it's ankle deep mud everywhere we go. So it sucks, but it's all part of it. But at least the weather broke. It's a little bit warmer now. It's not, 12 degrees out with 30-mile-an-hour wind. Now it's just, I mean, I think it got up to like 45, 50 degrees today. So everything's melting.
Good. We deal with it. Just as you guys have been saying throughout the season, you can only blame the weather so much, right?
Yeah.
Nate,
right.
we got you back, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right. So no, that's awesome. We do have a good pre-show, and I can't wait for the episode. The episode's going to be exciting. We got a lot of stuff there. Something I did want to mention too. Can you hear me yet, Alex? Good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, good. That's awesome. Just checking. I did want to direct everybody towards CornWarriorsTV.com to check out the new update to the webpage before we get too deep in here talking to everybody. And there is over 200 videos uploaded with 80 hours of extra on there. And if you take a look, you can get a season pass to Yellow Gold. You get a 5-day trial, and then for $20 a month, you can have access to all those videos. So I just wanted to drive that way. Now, Alex, we do have a giveaway too before we get started.
Yeah, so we started this new giveaway. We've already had about 63 total entries for the sweepstakes, where you can go to our Corn Warriors website and win a trip to our annual crowning ceremony in Memphis on March 1st. Really, all you got to do is go to the website, and on the middle of the CornWarriors.com. And if you go to the middle of the page, you'll see kind of like a countdown bar, and you can click win a trip. And all you got to do is go to the website, follow the instructions. You can either get a free season pass for Corn Warriors and the Podfather for 5 days, which then you can purchase after that free 5-day trial. You can join our newsletter, do a quick survey, or just answer a quick question, and you'll be entered into a chance to win a all expense paid trip to our crowning ceremony. Well, you'll be able to meet, all of these guys, all the guys from Corn Warriors, and, get some free food, get a free hotel room, make a little vacation out of it, and we'll totally pay for it. So go ahead and head to the website and get some more information on that and enter for a chance.
Well, that sounds good, guys. It'll be exciting. I know, Alex, you got started in around the introductions and stuff, but we'll probably just start talking about the episode, and we'll introduce guys as we go on from there too, if they haven't been on the screen. But I'd like to talk with Matt and Lane Miles, and then Rob Denman, if you guys would come on. This episode, we get to see a little bit of what you guys went through in June there with a little bit of the moisture. It's quite different for us to see.
Yeah, it was
Hold
pretty.
on, hold on.
All right, Lane's interrupted me. I'm sorry.
Before we get started, you know, I was watching the episode earlier today on RFD, and we've got the fixer and Dad. We've got the Bean Doctor and Rob, but I'm just Matt's son. I didn't get a nickname.
Look at Alex. Alex is laughing.
Trust me, we workshopped some ideas. I wanted to call you the protege.
Yeah,
The protege.
The protege.
Yeah, come on, something.
Just Lane. You're just Lane. Plain Lane.
I'm Matt's son. I'm not even Lane. I'm Matt's son.
Matt's son.
Matt's son?
Yeah.
Matt's son. I'm good with that. I like Matt's son.
Or maybe like the bag man. The problem is people will think you're sandbagging if we call you the bag man.
Yeah.
Don't take mine.
Anyways, you can have it back.
Yeah, so that's funny because Lane said, Dad, we were watching the episode on RFD, and he said, you've got a nickname. Rob's got a nickname. Look at my nickname. And we watched the show, and it was Matt's son. And he said, when we first get on there, I'm finna bust them out about my nickname. So that's where that come from. But yeah, Nate, when y'all were here, y'all were actually here before. It was almost before the rain. There was 19.2 inches in 24 hours between when y'all were here and when y'all left. The field that y'all were filming, you know, with the drone, we ended up shredding that field in June. I mean, we had ears on it, you know, not mature ears, but ears with corn already on it. And in June, we had to go in there and shred that whole field. The lemonade in those lemons that's where the ADS tile project was going in. So it gave us a little opportunity to get into that, you know, a little earlier and get that done.
Well, and one thing too that I want to bring up, you know, with we run into problems on farms, and everybody across the board usually has a fairly good attitude. That's one thing you guys touch on. You want to speak a little bit on that, Matt and Lane?
Well, you just gotta you gotta make lemonade out of the lemons. You know, we've had different things happen in farming, and you know, we've talked about different issues from COVID to today. You know, we don't know if we're going to get all the chemicals we need, the herbicides and insecticides and fungicides we need to make this crop. But, you know, if this thing was real easy, everybody would be trying to farm. So with it being a little more difficult, more challenges we face, it gives us an opportunity to go out there and rent land that we might not could rent because the average person, and that may be a strong word, a lot of people don't want to go through those kind of adversities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was kind of interesting to see in the episode too, you guys, father-son relationship. You know, we've got another father-son team on here, and we'll talk to them a little bit. We got Temple Rhodes and his son Alexander on, but it's interesting to see a little bit of the age gap. You know, Lane, you're maybe driven more towards the precision side of stuff. I'm sure Rob helps you with that. You know, we get to see a little bit of that in this episode. Is that an interesting relationship to balance, or does it happen fairly naturally?
Man, honestly, it really comes fairly naturally. I mean, we're best friends. I mean, if you're not, you know, that's the best way to work together. If you're not, it's hard to work together that way. But people make it work also. So, but as for me and Dad, I mean, we spend not just working hours, we spend personal hours together. I mean, it's if me and my wife go somewhere, generally Dad and Mom's with us, and vice versa. So I mean, it's a personal relationship and a working relationship, and it works really, really well.
You bet. Well, no, and we've been there. We've got to see you guys interact. You can tell it's a very natural relationship, but it's interesting to talk about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for guys to share.
It's pretty.
What's that now?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, Nate, because I've got to be there and watch Lane grow up. You know, when I first started working with Matt, Lane was just a kid in high school. And he's turned into a little farming machine now. But yeah, it's been a pretty cool, and to watch them interact every day, and to see them, to watch Matt is handing the rein, somewhat handing the reins over to Lane, and watching Lane take it and run with it has been a pretty cool story.
Well, what's interesting to see too is then you see Lane's son come in, and we get to see them, and it's just the line goes on. It's neat to see. But Temple, that brings up you right now. How are you doing, man?
Doing good.
Now, you want to introduce your son, Alexander? Alexander, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Take yourself off.
Introduce himself. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you guys doing? I'm Alexander. I'm Temple son. It's good to see you all.
We get to see you last week. I think you were, that was the first episode I think you were in where you're actually farming, correct?
Yep. Correct.
So,
correct.
How is it working with Temple?
Yeah. Just another day, living in paradise,
You bet. Oh, it's all right. But no, that's good. So you're in school right now, Alexander?
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. I'm studying at University of Maryland. Yep.
You bet. So, you can talk a little bit about the father-son relationship. We're hearing kind of from Lane and then from you. I mean, is it fairly natural for you guys? I mean, we've been there, but just talk about it a little bit.
You want me to go or Dad to go?
You go ahead, Alexander. You first.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, Alexander, easy.
I don't know. You go ahead. You go.
Well, I'll just put it to you this way. So I met Alexander when he was 2 years old. So I met his mom and dad, and then they ended up getting divorced. And then Alexander, like I said, I've been around him since he was 2. And one of the first times, once I got to know his father and his mother, I tilled a farm right in their area where they live at. And I was driving down the road. I was going to one of the farms, and it was like 5:30 in the morning, just crack of light. I just so happened to look over, and here's this little boy in his freaking diapers, no shirt on, no shoes, no nothing, on a little pedal tractor, going up and down the lane, up and down the lane, up and down the lane. And I thought, what in the hell? So I stopped the sprayer, pulled in there, drove up there, went in there, took Alexander in the house. And I'm like, did you all even know where he was? And they were like, he climbs out of the crib all the time and then goes outside and plays. We can't keep him outside. We can't keep him inside. So ever since that day, of course, all of us, we're all still friends. And, divorce happens with everybody. It happened with my first marriage, and it happened with Alexander's parents' first marriage. So, but all of us remain very close, and everybody's friendly, and it's actually a really good relationship all the way around. And it allowed Alexander to chase his dream, because that's all he's ever wanted to do. He doesn't want anything else. I know, everybody says blood's thicker than water, but it ain't here. I can tell you, I can promise you, he is my son, and he is wholeheartedly, this is all he's thought about since the day I met him. He's never thought about anything other than that. I brought him up on the farm, and he spent a lot of time out here with me, and hopefully someday, my sons will take over everything. Now, I don't know when I'm not ready to retire, but maybe all of this stuff that me and Matt had a long conversation about this a couple of weeks ago. And we talked about, turning it over to our sons and what the right way to do it is and what's the wrong way to do it. And neither one of us have that figured out, do we, Matt?
No, not at all. But that's a cool story, Temple.
So, the long and short of it is, I've got another boy that, he helps us out on the farm a lot. Maybe someday, Alexander and Temple will grow it big enough we can pull him in too. But it's a working family farm. I mean, it truly is, and Matt can speak to that as well or better than anybody. And when it's like this, it's the love of the land. It's the love of what we do. This dirt doesn't care. It can suck us up and spit us out, and we're all going to die in it someday. We're just here to do the best job we can up till it's time for us to go. And it's my dream to pass on the legacy. I don't want to lose it. you know, and that's part of generational farming is just that. That's the sacrifice. That's the scare. That's my everyday scare. I talked about this with Matt, you know, I mean, if we make a mistake and, you know, this could be generational mistakes. So we try very hard not to do that. But yeah, I wait until we get to that point in our lives where maybe I can find something else to do and let them kind of take the reins a little more as we go.
That's awesome. No, that's good. And Alexander, it's always great working with you, and we're glad to have you on. I see we got another father-son team over there, Corey Atley and his son, Austin. Corey, how are you doing?
Doing good. Just hoping we keep the electric on. We've had about 4 inches of sleet so far, and now it's supposed to switch over. I'm supposed to be getting 10 to 12 inches of snow. So I don't know when it's coming, but it's not here yet.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be coming. That's crazy. Yeah, so you're in this episode we'll be showing here. We get to go out and look at the field with you a little bit. And one thing I couldn't believe, I'll give it a little bit away on this episode coming up, was your nodulation. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, we've had really good luck with getting good nodulation early. We've tried a bunch of different inoculants on the market, and we found probably, I think it's been about 5 years now, Terramax. We've been using their product, NewTek SIIF and Vertex, and we've just had really great luck with it. And you can see with this episode what I'm talking about and what I'm preaching with it. You know, it's definitely been a game changer for us.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome too. And a little, we'll give a little bit away, guys watching. If you're looking, if you haven't already seen the episode on RFD TV, look for that diamond in the dirt. It's pretty cool what you got going on there. We'll give them a little teaser with that and just leave that alone. But no, it's a great episode. Get to see a lot of your field, and looking forward to it. Austin, how are you doing? You staying busy or you staying warm?
Sorta.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, Perry, how are you doing? We're going to switch to Perry Galloway. How's things going in Arkansas? You got to talk a little bit.
Yeah, glad to be here. I commented earlier about the weather, but we'll make it. It could be worse. So glad to be here. And y'all were talking about father son and interactions, and I was with Matt and Lane and as well as Rob. Earlier this week we had a farm show in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We all three, I guess, had presentations. All four of us had presentations, and actually Matt and I did a roundtable discussion and got a lot of positive feedback on that. So talked a lot about PGRs, and in one of my individual discussions, we got off on the inoculants. So Corey's talking about inoculants and success he's had, and you know, I feel like I've had pretty good success too, not with Terramax, but looking forward to trying that this year. So yeah, a lot going on. It's you know, it's February now, so won't be long. It'll be time to put some seeds in the ground, and you know, I'm looking forward to it.
So
I kind of get weary after harvest, but now that duck season's over and we got a little snow or freezing precip, it'll be here before we know it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, that sounds good. What are you doing this time of year to prepare for next year?
You know, we got dry last week, and we probably had 6 tractors in the field for, I guess, 4 or 5 days. So, you know, we're still doing some field work. With this precip now, we're back in the shop, but most of our equipment's ready to go. I need to go through some planters. We're not quite ready with our planters. Need to make a few changes there on the infer system for some corn. I need to modify that. What else do we have going? That's about it. You know, I use H2A labor, and 4 of them are here, and I'll have another 3 show up early March. So got to get their housing ready. You know, we're doing a lot. We always have something to do. I was in the office today working on something. I can't remember what it was, but I guess it's some marketing stuff. So yeah, never a dull moment around here.
That's awesome. Matt and Lane, Rob.
Nate, if you don't mind real quick, we actually got a question from YouTube I wanted to ask the guys.
Get it on here.
Yeah, I've been monitoring our YouTube. By the way, Kevin Cobb is watching right now, and he says hello. He's trying to learn something from you guys. So the Corn King himself is taking notes right now. I got Wade from YouTube saying, here's a question for the guys. Does any of them drill beans 7.5 inches? Or have they moved to wider rows like 15s or 30s? And what benefits have they seen?
That's a good question.
So
Who's answering?
I'll answer. It's Temple.
All right.
So for years we drilled with a drill. We couldn't get to, we hit a plateau for 70, 75. That was a major plateau for us. Our biggest problem is you just can't, we couldn't singulate them with a drill. And that's really important. I mean, we talked that, well, the guys in the Corn Warrior show will tell you as well, you know, even with your corn, if it's not perfectly spaced, you're going to have that weed plant. It's similar to that in soybeans, but what I found is if you're in a drilled situation and you have spaces between and it's all kind of scattered out and you got some too close and some too far away, what you're actually making is you're making a bunch of different plants. And all those plants, what we're trying to do at the, you know, the guys on the Podfather, we're trying to manipulate those plants to make them all act very differently. And you can't manipulate, you have to manipulate one style of plant, not multiple styles of plants. Because when they're put into a drilled row, that's what you end up having. You have some thin line beans, you have some that bush out because of your spacing problems, because you can't singulate it correctly. So we moved away from that in the 15-inch rows, and we use precision plates, and we try to, you know, try to get the best singulation that we possibly can out of them. So we watch that very, very closely. And we do the same thing with 30s as well. We make out maybe a little bit better with 15s than 30s, but it's really not a big difference there. It's a pretty dramatic difference with drilled beans, though. So that's what I got.
Temple,
I couldn't agree with Temple more. Singulation is the issue. I mean, yeah, I've tried drills before. I plant our rice and wheat with the drill, but you know, singulation is the key. I mean, a drill has been described as a controlled spill, and I couldn't agree more with that, because you know, in a 7.5 inch row, you may have 10 seeds in a 5-inch area, and then you may skip a foot, and you may have another 4 seeds, and you may skip 2 feet. It's just hard to get any kind of singulation with the drills that I'm familiar with. And I'm sure they're better ones than I've got, but you know, when we went to 15-inch rows and actual row planter, you know, our singulation came back, and therefore our yields went up. So yeah, I think surely everyone's going to agree with that.
I've got a question for you guys.
Right there.
So we're all, you know, we talk about being a brotherhood and how we all help each other out. And until this episode of Podfathers, I didn't know anything about these diamond planted beans. And Temple, you're pretty close to Corey. Did you know this was going on? Because it's kind of a surprise to me. I'm limited to 38-inch rows because of furrow irrigation. So we went to the twin row to try to mimic a 30 like some of the other guys has got. But I think Corey's got a little secret going on here I didn't know anything about.
He's trying to keep that stuff to himself, Matt.
So you knew? Did you know?
No, nobody knew.
Okay.
He's
I want to hear more about it. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, Corey, what happened to the brotherhood deal there, brother?
Hey, yeah, you guys beat me so bad in season 1. I had to hold something. I mean, come on.
So I told them last year we poked a bear, and I think we double poked a bear.
No, I mean, you know, I guess to your guys' point about a drill to a planter to 20-inch, 15, 30-inch, we are 20-inch rows. At the end of the day, you got to have, you know, perfect singulation. I really don't need the bean to merge at the same time. I just need them to be spaced evenly. So that is our biggest concern, is spaced evenly. And we've been playing with populations. We even messed up one year and we planted a bean field at 38,000 as a complete accident. Junior loaded the wrong script and loaded a corn script. Well, we've seen how much they branched out. So we was thinking, man, if we could mimic that, but have more plants out there. And then also with the sunshine effect. So we're trying to get more solar panels out there. So what we did is literally studied the sun and planted that towards a sundial. so we can capture more sunlight, because here in Ohio, we just don't have the solar radiation that you guys do. So I'm trying to do the best I can to, get an advantage with that. And it worked out pretty well this year. I was really, really pleased with it.
Hey, Corey,
Yeah.
do you feel like did you cut the population way back? Like, what was your final population, 100, 110, and you split, did you plan it like 50,000 both ways? Like, what exactly did you do? And do you feel like with cutting back on the population and planting in two different directions, that it helped your singulation that much more?
Yeah, I don't know what just happened to my feed, but I got cut out. But I think I know the question. Some about population with that. I was at 60,000 and 60,000. So as a final of 120,000. But what I wanted to see if we could trick that bean plant into branching out as if it would at 60,000, and it did. So to do it again next year, I've learned something to really change that, because it was too much branching. We got to the point now where we're overloading that bean plant too much now. When we had that windstorm come through, that just really hurt us. Still had great yield, don't get me wrong, but man, what could have been.
So my other part of the question that you didn't hear that I asked, that when your feed count out, do you feel like when you cut your population way back that it improved your singulation?
Absolutely. It does, but I've got an exact emerge planner, so I'm pretty proud of that planner. We can run 98.5 to 99. If we get below 98.5, we're getting out. There's a problem. So we have no problem running it really, really low.
Okay.
Do you see a problem with the bowls? Because I've had other people complain about that. When they start getting underneath 100,000, they lose control.
I don't. I use the precision plates. I don't, but I mean, I don't get until I get under 100 some thousand. I can't really singulate very, very well. Like, I singulate very well compared to all the rest, but it's not perfect. That's why I was asking, because if I dropped it down to 55 or 60, like you're doing, and then tried something erratic like that, I was just wondering how well I could singulate, because once I get above them numbers, it kind of gets pretty erratic for me. I got to really slow down.
Yeah, it was interesting. My biggest concern was running over the row again with the weight of the planter. We're such big equipment running back across over it. And we had to actually adjust the planting depths to make that work, knowing that we're going to run it over again. So, and I learned that from doing the 10-inch row corn. We've played with that a lot, and that planter weight affects it a lot.
Okay.
Absolutely. Alex, do we have any more questions that you saw in there?
No, not specifically. We had Chad Henderson watching, pretty much bragging about how he saw it before anyone else. And Wade, the guy who initially asked the question, was just really appreciative and saying that he saw the same and are moving toward better singulation using a VSET in the future, moving away from the drill. So he was really appreciative of you guys getting to that. So thanks.
Yeah, guys, and next week when we have this on too, we want to welcome all the questions. These guys are really great about answering them. Guys, we'd really like to thank you guys for being a part of this. All the Podfathers, the guys on the Podfather show, taking time out of your day. Alexander, it was great seeing you too. Great
Yeah,
having
it's good seeing you guys.
You bet. We appreciate having you on. Lane, it's good to see you too. I haven't got to see you for a bit. And as always, we did have Grant Smith join on as well. And guys, we are getting ready to watch the episode right now. And we'll see if we might have a pre-show afterwards. Stay on afterwards. So
post-show afterward confirmed.
All right.
All right.